Hey everyone, we're Concrete Castles and we're going to be releasing 8 songs in 8 months. Welcome to our first behind the scenes video for our music video Dollhouse. I'm Audra.
I'm Matthew.
And I'm Sam.
And we're going to tell you a little bit about how we're going to be doing our second album cycle. So last year we released our first album and we did a bunch of tours on it and did it kind of how every band does an album cycle. But we're doing something a little bit different for our second album. Like you heard at the beginning, we're going to be releasing 8 songs in 8 months. And those are going to include a music video for the song and a behind the scenes video like this one. So you're going to be getting 2 videos a month from us every time we put out a new song. And we just wanted to kind of try a different way to release our music and give you guys a little bit more content than we normally would. So that's how we're going to kind of run with this second album.
We have full control over, who we pick to write with and who we pick to produce and mix and master. And we have full control over how we edit these behind the scenes and how we put out videos and how we do everything that you see from us. We wanted to give you guys a peek into how is a band of 3 people with a couple of their friends going to basically put out music and put out videos that's trying to stand with industry standards.
So this song Dollhouse was originally written last January in 2022 with the 3 of us and one of our friends, a really good writer named Julian Camo, when we were in LA. I think that we kind of got a great first song that more so kind of encapsulates the musical backgrounds that we come from, which happens to be a little bit heavier music, and it started with a guitar riff, for example, which was a little bit off of the beaten path of what we were used to for writing songs in that kind of structure. And then as far as lyrically, I think that we just liked it so much that we didn't want to let go of this song, so we kind of had to push ourselves to find something that would sound cool and interesting over this. And I think it really brought forward a really kind of more interesting product and a new approach to writing songs.
So this song started off as nothing, no idea. We were just throwing random words at it to see what sounded cool. And then we wrote the chorus first, we wrote the verse, and then we eventually wrote that pre-chorus with the line Dollhouse. And then everything started to make sense and we were like, oh, now we have a song and a concept and something that can be usable for us to, make a music video out of and put on an album, and something that we're very excited for.
After playing out on a couple tours before writing Dollhouse, I think we really were like, oh, this is how energy transfers over from song to song. This is how this will work in a live setting. This is how this. So I think, for me and Sam especially, I think it was really almost back to comfort, where it's hey, don't overthink it a whole lot. Let's take the experiences we have of not only playing our songs live, but playing out in our small town covers and heavier songs that we've won, and kind of wrangle that into our kind of style and where we want to push this next record.
Dollhouse almost set the tone for the rest of the album, because I mean, having something so drastically different from your first album is something that is a little bit scary, but I think people are just really going to enjoy that, and we kind of see that carrying over from when we released Sting, and people really like that heavier sound. So Dollhouse kind of set the tone for the rest of the album and what we wanted to do with all of the songs that are coming out after this, and I think kind of helped us figure out what we wanted to sound like for the second album.
Yeah, and also when we move to write with somebody new, or maybe somebody, same person but in a new session, oftentimes they ask what have you been writing? What have you been working on? And it was nice that once we had Dollhouse done, when we went to somebody or to the same person for a new session, we played that. I think, like Audra said, it set the tone. I think they understood very clearly that, we're fine with high gain guitars and, kind of letting loose a little bit. It wasn't we had to be scared of, the digestibility of the song. So I really like it.
So this song is called Dollhouse literally because that was just our favorite line in the song. We just had that line at the very end, and then we ended up adding a bunch of other things that said Dollhouse after it, and we were just like, I think this needs to be the line, because it's the most interesting part, I think, in lyric in the song, but it's not in the chorus, which scares me. We've never done that before. We always name our songs after whatever the chorus is. And I just like remember playing this song for like my parents, my friends, and they're like, do you even say Dollhouse in this? And I was like, yes, you just have to listen. And it's like this very like short little snippet of this dollhouse point of view is the line. And we just liked that so much that we decided to name the whole song after that.
When it came to creating a video and like a vision board and seeing what we want to do with this song, it was probably one of the easiest songs we've ever had to do, because it's just like the obvious answer is right in front of you. It's called Dollhouse. So what if we did something with dolls? Originally, we kicked around ideas like, what if we were dolls, like superimposed into like a dollhouse? Or it's like, if you guys know, like, it's Bye Bye Bye, right? That has like the little marionettes when like all of NSYNC's like doing that. So we were like, what if we were like that? And we were like small, and then it's just like,
how do we do this?
We don't have a green screen, and we don't have that great of lighting, and we don't have that big of a space to shoot it in, and like we don't have that great of like skills like rendering out a dollhouse in 3D environments. So we're like, okay, maybe we won't do any of that. So I think it started like, okay, Dollhouse, we are the dolls. Okay, that won't work. But I think we were all sitting at lunch one day, and I was like, what if we had dolls of us? And then everyone's like, yeah.
You're like, wait a second.
Let's do that. So then I get on Etsy, and I'm like, dude, I'm going to commission us to have some dolls made for ourselves. But one fun fact for everyone at home to know about bands is they suck at making timelines and sticking to them. So like I was like, I'm gonna commission 3 dolls and send pictures of us, and it's gonna get made. But we have like what, a week and a half for
until
them
the
to
video,
be like constructed, made, and
sent
shipped
to us. Yeah.
And I was just like, I ran out of time. Who would have guessed it? And it was the holiday season when we were shooting this, so like everyone's just like, I can't turn that around. That's impossible. And I was like, fine. I'll do it myself. So, like, we constructed our own doll. All the props we made were in-house. Like, when I told you guys at the beginning that we had full control over it, we made the dolls.
Had full control.
We made, skipping forward ahead, we made the lights for the video. We set everything up. We tore everything down. It was an intense process, but we got the idea of, like, okay, what if we were dolls? And after that, it's really just about setting into place a basic story. My favorite thing about making music videos is like the story does not need to be all that complicated. It's like, okay, how did we become these dolls? Well, what if a little girl made us, like for her birthday present, she got all these lame gifts, but then she's like, wait a second, let me make this band out of all these assorted gifts that I got and like make them play a song. And like, so then we're like, okay, that is a solid foundation. So we have that. Now we need to dress up like the dolls and be the performance. Like we're basically in this little girl's head. We're her imagination. Like, the dolls, there's shots of her in real life being like, dolls, we're playing with them. And then it cuts to us
being the dolls.
Being these dolls. And I think it's funny. Maybe no one else thinks it's funny, but I just think it's funny from the standpoint of the song is so much heavier than you'd ever think. To have this, like, little girl birthday party, like, opening presents with dolls.
And just
like,
Dollhouse
having,
playing in
like,
the background.
a little streamer. And then it's just, like, us not pulling any punches with how we're like lighting or shooting the video. And it's like, I really liked that contrast in my brain when it was just like, okay, we're gonna shoot a very stylized, very dramatic, very like intense music video, and then it's gonna cut to like a girl like making
this is
the
in her
doll
head,
and like drawing on our little faces and putting on our little makeup and shirts. So as you'll probably see in other behind the scenes, all ideas start out as this big, like, okay, what is the first idea that comes to our head? And then whittling it into an idea that actually works and it isn't going to cost $1 million that we do not have.
It's really good.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're going to get a couple more amps for the video shoot.
I'm listening to the song because I was just saying that we have made a few small changes
Mm-hmm.
since like the very first demo. But we do have like the actual final song back today, like for the video, which is cool. I don't think we've had that for a while.
I'm so over it, trying to figure you out. Up against the wall, with my head in the clouds, baby.
It's so nice to come here and like set up all the lights and like, cause we have to make everything at the studio. So like we don't have the space and the amp and all that set up. So I just like set them roughly where they're gonna go.
Yeah.
And you just make the lights, hopefully like being like, I hope it looks how I want it to look.
We never get to see it from like the other
Yeah.
perspective. So like sitting out there and watching everybody else's takes, like,
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Sam?
not
Yeah.
Sam.
It looks
Sam, you're just a ball of light right
Oh,
now.
when I turned around, I still can't even see who you are. Oh, there you are.
Wait, where is he?
Or like beginning.
All right, guys, there he is.
Down, down. With my head in the clouds, baby, we're going down,
So
down,
we
down.
had all of the like performance shots. We dressed up like dolls. We played the song. All that performance side was done, but we were still left with getting our story element, the thing that tied it all together. The little girl, and we were sitting here we're like, who is gonna be this little girl that's like gonna be in this? Because we all have older families. Like Sam's the youngest at 22. I'm the oldest, but my brother's only like 2 years younger. So we don't want to really have any siblings that we can just bully into like, you're in this video. So like, who are we going to use? And then it dawned upon us, the guy that taught us all guitar, the guy that put us in our first cover bands, the guy that, you know, is the reason we play music. We've known his daughter since she was born.
Since she was born,
and she's
yeah.
8 years old, and we were like, she would be perfect. So we reached out to Quinn, and by reached out to Quinn, we were like, hey Ryan,
When
can we
can
use
we
your
come to
daughter?
your house
I
to
gotta
shoot
use your
this?"
house. And she was so excited when we walked in. She was like, I'm gonna be the star. I'm like in a movie.
You just give me the same old poor excuse. You lit our house on fire, so it burned.
I'm just gonna be like bad. I'm gonna be like frustrated and mad at some shit.
Yeah, and
And
just
I'm
like,
gonna be like, ugh.
yeah, exactly,
And I'm
yeah,
gonna-
exactly,
I'm
yeah.
gonna- I didn't know this.
No. I'm just doing behind the scenes, Quinny.
Deja vu, I'm a maniac. You make sure of that. All I know is that I try to fix you. You know I'll see right through your last point of view.
How'd you feel? How'd you do? Good. You tired? Shooting videos is hard work, huh? Thanks for all the help. Would you do it again? Maybe. Hey, that's all I need to hear. Good job, Quinn. As we sit here in the present, it is December, I think, 28th, 29th of 2022. We've never played the song live. The song's not out. We don't know if you guys like it. I will be honest, the video isn't even being done edited, so we don't even know what the final product
even know what it looks
like. So now it's just the daunting task of like, okay, we leave for tour in like 3-4 days. How is it going to sound
We have to
live?
get ready to play this because the day that we start our tour is the day that this song comes out. So the first day that the song's out is the first day of the tour and the first day we're ever going to play it live.
We've all got our fingers on the trigger right now. Boom! Go, go, go. Finger on the trigger. It's 12 Eastern time, but 9 our time. Because we're in San Diego, or San Francisco, whatever San we're in. Song literally released last night and video out for 3 seconds. Playing it tonight for the first time ever. How are we feeling?
Excellent.
Ready to play. I'm tired of driving.
This is how release days look. It's just a lot of sitting. Okay, boys. Our first time playing.
We're playing our first show tonight in San Francisco, not San Diego. And we're playing Dollhouse Live for the very first time
It's
ever.
the day of release. It's been out for about less
It's been
than
out
24
for-
hours.
Yeah.
And we're gonna play it for the first time.
Yeah, when we play it for the first time, it literally will be less than 24 hours since it came out, and that's just the song, not even the video. The video's been out for less than
12 hours. Yeah, it's been so we
we put in all the work, we put in out the video, we put out everything.
Now it's time to see how it actually
Now
goes.
it's time to see how it does live. Let's go get it.
I'm so over it, trying to figure you out. Up against the wall, with my head in the clouds, baby, we're going down, down, down. Going down, down, down. With my head in the clouds, baby, we're going down, down.
Overall, Dollhouse, we hope, will be successful, but it was for us. We overcame all of the difficulties and struggles that we had to deal with that day, and we stayed on time and we got everything done. So we're very excited about that, how that went, but we still have 7 more of these videos to do for the rest of the year.